XenTegra is a firm that focuses on the end-user compute space. We approach the market by educating our clients and try to add value beyond just the transactional sales process. We leverage IGEL everywhere we can for secure endpoints. We definitely enjoy working with their technologies. We find the management console to be very valuable and intuitive, and we find the operating system to perform very well and accomplish some of our goals, which are more secure environments as well as more controlled cost. So the IGEL technologies that we find the most useful are typically around the conversion of the endpoint using the IGEL OS, the Linux OS that we're able to put down, install on a commodity piece of hardware, whether it's a low-end piece of equipment or a high-performance machine. It really brings the opportunity for our customers to have a scalable solution that is secure, and the cost associated with it can be lowered. Better degree of control of the cost when you know when you're installing a Linux operating system from IGEL.
You know, what's great about IGEL is they're not just a device anymore, they're an OS. And so I can go into a customer and say, hey, you have problems with Windows 10, you have device sprawl, IGEL can help bring everything under one management UI, and then also simplify, hey, you're maybe moving to Azure, or hey, you're maybe gonna use Office 365 or Citrix Cloud, and they play very nicely with that story. And one of the core technologies that we work with is Citrix, and IGEL and Citrix go hand in hand, and it makes it an easy story to go in and tell a customer. And it gives them the end-to-end management story from not only the device, but all the way down to the app, all the way to the cloud, right into the data center. One of my favorite products is the UD Pocket. And I think people truly underestimate the power of the UD Pocket. The UD Pocket's great because if you have a contractor, or if you have a temporary worker, or you have a remote workforce, you can just send them a UD Pocket, say, here you go, use the cloud gateway, configure it, and then they're ready to go, and you have a unified experience across your whole workforce. But if you have temporary workers, you don't have to worry about security, compromise on their own devices, and when they leave, done. You just take the device back, or if they forget to give it back to you, you can just factory reset it, and you're ready to go. So the UD Pocket is great because it takes any device, secures it, but also unifies the experience for the end user.
Selling with IGEL is pretty easy, right? Because it's a solution that makes sense. It's something you can easily get in the hands of the client, whether it's through a conversion or a UD Pocket. And customers once they've experienced it, there's not much to the sales process after that. As long as it does what they need it to do and it makes sense, IGEL is pretty easy to sell and pretty easy to get people to adopt.
One of the cool things that IGEL's doing is they're decoupling the license from the device. So the device is now truly disposable. The license is a license now, so it's software. So that's what makes it unique now, is that IGEL finally realizes that it's not devices that you're paying for the software and the management. So the UD Pocket is just a thing, and if it walks out the door, it walks out the door. With the latest version of the IGEL OS, you're able to connect in the Citrix workspace. You can just have them only use the Citrix workspace. So you can truly lock down the experience. But then from a security perspective underneath, it's read-only. So they can't edit the OS, they can't hack the OS. The OS is secured. So if anything does happen, they just reboot and they're back to square one. IGEL adds huge value in ROI. So I think that's where the evolution is going. And I think if I were going to encourage customers and partners, don't be afraid of Linux. IGEL's made it super simple and easy to use, and that's why I love it. IT needs to kind of buck the status quo and really look at taking chances where they see opportunity, and I think IGEL is a great example of that. Yeah, you're used to running Windows 10, or Windows 7 or 2016. Well, you know what? If you try IGEL OS, I guarantee you're gonna go 100% across the board where you see its value and where you can fit it in, because it makes it easier and it truly bucks the trend, but it's something that's going to evolve the enterprise into a new evolution of security and giving the users what they want.